Investigators intensify search for Nancy Guthrie, suspect still unidentified, or are they?
So I'll give you the latest on that. And again, also going to talk to Maureen. So I've got a packed episode, latest on the Nancy.
All right, let us know. Let's get into it.
So,
okay, I'm an open book for you guys. I don't have any information about what I know.
Never report anything that I'm not able to confirm myself. And so I'm just like, I'm an open book with you guys. I don't have any information or any reporting or any information from my own sources about there being a suspect right now.
And that's why everybody's going to Ashley Banfield. So again, on this channel, my commentary is why police identified the suspect that's floating around in the news in the Nancy Guthrie case. Could an inheritance be the motive? Or it could just be money, all right? And the family is absolutely in shock. I don't want to put myself in that predicament.
It doesn't mean that there's not one behind the scenes, but I have no reporting on that. So what I do know is that the sheriff put out a statement today, and this is what the sheriff's office said. It says, at this point, investigators have not identified a suspect or person of interest in this case. Detectives continue to speak with anyone who may have had contact with Mrs. Guthrie. Detectives are working closely with the Guthrie family. While we appreciate the public's concern, the sharing of unverified accusations or false information is irresponsible and does not assist the investigation. No suspect or person of interest has been identified at this time. So that is the latest from the Pima County Sheriff's Department. They're going to have another press conference tomorrow, or maybe we'll get some more information. I will say, in the past, I have covered other cases where police will not be so forthcoming with the media and the public initially, even if they have information behind the scenes. But needless to say, that statement was very, very clear that they're saying that they do not have a person of interest or suspect at this time. So in terms of the latest on what...
And that is absolutely the message that law enforcement is getting across to us, okay? You can look anywhere on any station and they're saying, and the way they word it is interesting, but they're saying they don't have a person of interest and they have no suspect. And it could be for a reason. And I hope you guys, whoever got a gifted membership, wanted one, all right? Yeah, they're being right. They're being all responsible and stuff, just like Ashley, right? We could have hit 2,000 likes and got some free cookies. She was kidnapped by someone she knew, plain and simple. Thank you, Dexter. We could have just said that. I could have said, hey, I'm Jay with Guilty of Crime. She was kidnapped by someone she knew, plain and simple. See y'all tomorrow, right? We're at 222, so let's just say a prayer that Nancy Guthrie gets brought home alive, right? Let's keep going. I just want to see what he has to say being on the scene. And I still got 1,800 people here. Why not?
It's been happening out here. It's been relatively quiet here outside Nancy's house. There is private security now that's sort of keeping an eye on the house out here. And her daughter, Annie, lives about 10 minutes from here, where there's also a big media presence. I want to show you what it's like there. So this is Annie Guthrie's house, where she lives with her husband. And this is about 10 minutes away from Nancy's house. So it's pretty close. It's actually a very similar neighborhood in terms of just the houses are kind of spaced out. They're a little bit closer together here, but it's desert out here. It's out on the fringe of Tucson. And you can see there's a lot of media out here outside Annie's house who are all just waiting to see if she comes.
And now we get to see outside of her house. And yes, Nancy had a little dog. If you looked in the missing poster, that's awesome. If you look at the missing poster, you'll see a dog that's on there. Hold on.
Back, what's happening. The FBI was out here yesterday. I have that confirmed. And they were talking to Annie and her husband. So the media is just out here waiting to see if anything develops here outside the house. But yeah, it's a single story kind of ranch style. You can see like everything else around here. There's a ton of cactus out in the yard. And we don't believe anyone is home right now. So it's pretty quiet out here now. And again, this is just media out here. The neighbors have been coming out and asking sort of for updates and what's going on. Kind of give you an idea of what the neighborhood is like here.
So this was what we were watching earlier. It's now dark outside. And that's the thing, the real ZARP. That's what we don't know. We don't know about her house. We do know that they went into her house and they collected whatever they wanted to. Annie and Tomasa are the last two people to see her alive, the proof of life. All right. Her daughter said she had one of her dogs with her. Okay. I know it's such a big, exactly, Dexter. That's why it's not, I don't see how it's possible. I don't see how it's possible that they have that big of a house out in the middle of almost nowhere. The houses are, far and few between with no security. I'm betting right now they know exactly who did what and maybe not how and where, but there's probably going to be arrests tonight, maybe tomorrow.
Again, the houses are spread out.
In my opinion.
Kind of a lot of land and space in between the houses. After I left, there was also some action there, which one of my colleagues got some video of. There, Savannah's sister Annie and who we believe is her brother came home to the house and then just went inside. So obviously, just a terrible situation for the entire family. There have been some reports that Savannah is staying with her sister there. We don't know that for sure, but we do know that Savannah is still in the area here, in the Tucson area. That's according to the sheriff. What's also interesting is with these ransom notes. So there were two ransom notes. One went to TMZ and the other one went to a local TV station here in Tucson. What's interesting is that all happened yesterday, that we found out about it yesterday, but the sheriff is now saying that the night before, so not yesterday, which would have been, I'm getting my days mixed up, yesterday would have been Tuesday, Monday night, the sheriff says that they found out about the one ransom note, I believe the one sent to the local TV station here in Tucson.
And then it continued because every news station that you go on will tell you that it came to them later in the day. And why would you do that? Why would you send a ransom note to random news stations, including TMZ? All right. What's up, Carly? Glad you're here. We had 4,000 people in chat earlier. Now, the dog was on the missing poster with her, Lexi, but when I looked back at the news reports, they say the missing flyer had her dog, but there's no report that the dog was harmed or missing at this point. So let's hope that's the case. And the sheriff actually showed the note and told Savannah Guthrie about the note and showed Savannah the note. That is what the sheriff is saying. What I find interesting about that is that, and the sheriff also made clear that they still don't know the legitimacy of the notes. But what I think is interesting is that he obviously thought it was important enough that he showed Savannah Guthrie the note. But we still don't know if the note is legit. We don't know if either note is legit, but we know that it described what Nancy. And I'll tell you right now that I believe that whole note is a hoax. Even if they were to send $2 million to whatever account, I mean, really, would that work? Even if they sent it and they gave it back, you think they can't trace an account with $2 million in Bitcoin? They have no way to do that? Absolutely, in my opinion, that's a distraction to the entire case. Nancy Guthrie was wearing, and also some details from inside the house. Whether those details are true and legit, we don't know. That's something I'm going to ask Maureen O'Connell about in a minute. I'm also going to ask her about her thoughts about whether or not there could be a suspect that police are just not being for. And that's a thing. I absolutely don't. I can't say it would take two people to carry her, but it would take two people to probably carry her. She wasn't that big. You can see the missing poster. Rocco says the sister Annie should have spoken from the heart and not read from a script. I agree. But when you're grieving, you never know how people are going to grieve. Yeah, it's no longer on the outskirts. It used to be, but she's still 84 years old and 150 pounds. Yes, takes more. Well, if you have a big, 6 foot something man, I'm sure, but definitely be easier to carry with two people. All right. I don't know who's reporting that her dog's missing, but nobody reported that. It's just chat talking. It's not reported. So that's coming up in a few minutes, but I wanted to give you that update on the ransom notes. Also, when I was driving here to Nancy's house from Savannah's sister's house, I noticed there's still a lot of searching going on in this area. We saw the helicopter up last night here for an hour, circling very, very low around Nancy's home, and then I saw them searching in a wooded area a little while ago. So I was just driving back over to Nancy's house, and you can see there's all of these sheriff's deputies from the Pima County Sheriff's Office that were all just out searching. And the media hadn't even got there yet. When we saw this earlier, media was all out there. TMZ sent out accident. What's up, Angel or Angela? Good to see you. accident info about Kobe before the cops, right? That happens sometimes. There was a picture with Nancy and her son-in-law. He was holding a black curly. Well, it does say she has a dog. Yeah, it didn't, but they never said anything about the dog missing or being harmed
in this area. And they all just packed up to leave. And I'm really right behind where Nancy's house is. I'm going to walk across the street here and show you. And I was trying to explain to you guys yesterday, but there's all this like just empty area in between the houses out here in her neighborhood.
But I also want you to realize, guys, that FBI is swarming the home right now. They put the crime scene team back up if you just came in here and you don't remember. And it's FBI that's investigating now. And I want you to know that FBI not only retaped Nancy's home and is looking for more evidence, but at the same time, I want you to realize they're searching her daughter Annie's house, and they have Annie with them. Annie left with them, and I believe she left with them to probably go and speak. Probably, I don't, she doesn't have a lawyer or anything. I don't see any of that, but we saw her walking with that. Authorities believe Nancy was abducted. They say she still may be alive and have brought in a hostage or many hostage negotiation experts